Alright guys, so now the next thing I'm gonna do is to design the components, the hero section, and then later on we shall follow it up with the rest of the news blog section. So now in the last video we designed the navigation menu. If you want to see how we did that, just go back to the previous video and see how we did that. So now without further ado, let's get into the video on how to design the hero section in AstroJs. Now the first thing that we're gonna do is to create a component. Okay, so in remember we said everything in Astro is a component. This is a component, this is a component. Okay, these are components. Okay, so now let's create a component over here, and our component is gonna be hero.astro. All right, so in here I'm gonna go ahead and minimize that. So I will somewhere on the home page I'm gonna import the hero. Okay, so if I close that, then come back over here, if I write anything here, it should show up. Perfect. So now what we're gonna do, since over here we have two components, this is a component and this is a component, so I'll need two components in under one div. How I'm gonna do that is to come back in over here, then get this and then put it under one component. Okay, so for example, if I add two of those, okay, let's say one, okay, both of those should show. Okay, that's the beauty of using components. So you write once and then everything is updated. So now let's add a class over here, and then it's gonna be on let's first design for mobile. Okay, so on mobile it will be a flex, and it will be flex block or column. Okay, let's see, caught up in between flex, it should be flex core. Okay, and let's see, justify, it should have a width of I believe screen. Okay, we need to make sure that we are following, I just want it to be the same. Okay, and then justify content center, and then items align center. Okay, align middle. And so one thing I want to make sure that we are taking advantage of, okay, is to go back in here and then add a div, and then this div, give it, now we're in the hero. Okay, this div should be width of full. Okay, all right, perfect. So if I add in here like a span, or I add in here like a hero one, and then let's say it's gonna be the bright future of web 3.0. okay, yeah, perfect. So now on mobile it should be you know, in that format. I'm gonna add a small so let's see, it's gonna be I want it to match this top, so let me go back. I think that's a padding of I think 6. There we go. Okay, so on mobile it's gonna be you know, in a column, and So let's go back here. On mobile, it's gonna be column, or one other thing you can do is for it to be block. Okay, but that does not get out what we need, so let's make it column. So on column, on mobile, it's gonna be column, and then on large screens, it's gonna be flex row. Okay, and there we are. So there we are. So now we need to center everything all together on desktop. Okay, this should be centered, but one thing we are missing should be full. Okay, and then over here we're gonna get I believe that is fine, honestly. Yeah, so on mobile we are going to sorry, on desktop we are going to I like pulling everything over here so that mobile is first, and then on desktop large, and then that's gonna be 4/5. Okay, so that's not a full flex call on large. That's gonna be it. Okay, I want to make sure I have, this is how I normally test. Alright, so the reason as to why it's not, it's because these ones, so I can get one more. There are two choices over here, so what I can do is get this whole section and put it under a div, and then give it a class of width, width full, and flex, and flex column call, sorry, and then justify. Oh, don't be confused by, so that's justify center and items center. All right, and that fixes it. Okay, so let's go to mobile. Awesome. So I may need to gap these so I can add let's see, I want to make sure that it's the same, so let me see if what gap does over here. Gap 3, I want to make sure it's not okay, because yeah, it's 1, so that's why. Okay, so this is gonna be this div over here, is gonna hold the multiple. So I got all this and put it under one umbrella, and also this will be under umbrella, so definitely that's going to be a column. So okay, so I have this all set up, and the next one will just be down over here for the featured blogs. Okay, so now one thing that we need, let me max this out. Okay, that looks good. One thing that we need, I'll copy this same thing because I'm gonna need it in future, and then repaste it over there, and then I can write something like featured blogs over here. Okay, so now this is what I wanted to see. So I wanted to make sure that there is a gap in between them. There's a can say margin top should be around 8, so that I have that margin top and bottom. So now since they're gonna be either side, so I'll make them 4 and then give this a margin of 4. Okay, so if you're wondering why I'm doing that, is because I need a gap in between here and here. Okay, all set. So now I'm gonna take off these tests that I was using, because now I don't need them anymore. Okay, yeah, I don't need them anymore. So honestly, we have that all set up. Let me just keep it that way. Let's see what next. So we are gonna get into this this section and design it up for this video. Okay, all right. So the first thing that we're gonna need, I'll go ahead and take this off. Okay, I'll go ahead and take this, comment this out. Okay, so our and then now we have this. So the first thing that we have is that we have an image, and I'll make sure I add this source later on. And then we have a div over here, and it has another div which has a paragraph of some content, which is we dive, and then it has a button of type button, and class background black, text white, and let's see, padding tab, I'm gonna give it something like 2, and then padding X, I'm gonna give it something like 4, and then give it a read more. Okay, so there we are. Now so we have an image, and so let's go back here. So the whole thing in here is gonna be, since we have, I can put this in a div. Okay, so now let's minimize everything. So we have 2 divs, and now to resolve that is to give them a display flex display call, and yeah, we should not, and maybe justify an item start. Okay, and align items middle and item center. Okay, so let's see, it looks like, no, these I'm not gonna need them over there, so I'm gonna need those within another div. I'm gonna show you why. Okay, then in here I have a tool that has my history, so I'll paste that over there. So now this is what we have. Okay, so now this should pan all the way. Okay, and I'm gonna test something real quick over here and see. Okay, perfect. So yeah, that works as expected. Okay, so we don't have an image yet, and we shall get the image sooner or later. And let's see, yeah, that should go over there. I just want to first fix, I need to first fix all this. So in here, so we are at you know, where you see the word and everything. So we dive, the future is bright, and then we dive. Okay, good. So now what we need to do is class, we need a class that displays flex and flex row, and that's pretty much. Maybe we need a gap. Before we need a gap, we're gonna need justify content, justify content between, and then align everything in the middle, and then items start. Okay, so items start so that they are at the top. Okay, and then we'll have something like in here, this may dictate the size of the box, so that's text maybe 5 extra large. Okay, and that's a little bit too much. So I believe this is going to change on mobile, but let's see how this looks like on desktop. So okay, not so bad, but we need to push everything at so we need to push everything. So let's see, this is justifying content between. Where are we? We are in between here, so justify content between, and then if we do start, wait, where I'm gonna go ahead and give this a dummy background because I want to see where I am. Okay, looks good. Yeah, because there is an Astro, because this is just a single, it's just a single, remember there are gonna be 2 of them. Okay, so if I uncomment this, okay, so it looks like, yeah, that's what we need. So let me see if I give this a width, a width of 50, sorry, a width of 50%. Okay, so yeah, meaning I get what I so 50% on desktop. Okay, and obviously on mobile those should pretty much go the other way around. So this is gonna be large, and then on mobile that should, oh man, that should be a column, and it should basically pan out all the way. Okay, it should basically pan out all the way. So this is large, and width should go full. Perfect. So now we're gonna need a gap of about maybe 3, maybe 8. 8 is too much. Maybe 4. And what else would we need? So I'm contemplating on whether this box, because I haven't looked at the mobile. Let me take a look at the mobile, but you know what, let's first focus on what we have right now. So yeah, this looks good so far. I'm gonna take out the backgrounds, because do I need any more guidance at the moment? Maybe not. But remember, we have this is larger than this one. Okay, so we need to take care of that at some point, which will be over here. So we shall change this later on. Okay, so we will change the width to something like 60%. Okay, yeah, so now I want to get that image, but before I work on that image, let me first make sure that I do incorporate so this let me first make sure. So we have fonts, extra bold. Okay, and what else do we have? Remember, we wanted to work on something like on desktop. On large, it should be something like 5. Okay, yeah, 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 that should and then on small we can work with something like that, and let's see. So here we're gonna say width is pretty much gonna be auto. Okay, so width is gonna be auto. It's gonna just incorporate the rest of the. So if I add something like a red background because I want to see, so if I do something like this and something like this, because I don't want to tie, let me see, something like this, and justify content center, and then the height should also be auto. So center, so I want to make sure, okay, let's see, just going between and let's see. Okay, so I see where that is coming from. So this should be, yeah, so as soon as we incorporate the words, longer words, then everything will pan out, will go all the way. Let's see, Santa. What if we made it between? Okay, so yeah, pretty much this is what, let me look for, let me see if I have any content that is in here, okay, that I can use. It doesn't look like I have any content, honestly. So what I'm gonna do is to get any random data. Actually, let me try to type it out. few typos here and there. So if we take a look over here, so we should be able, okay, we should be able to fix something like that. And I see why this should, okay, I see why this should do that. And so what I'm doing is that I'm taking out all this and I'm gonna put it on the actual class itself. Okay, so that way everything is integrated within a class. So what we're gonna do over here is that now both of them should, yeah, both of them should be able honestly to take up the actual full you know, part of the width. Okay, yeah, perfect. So that should honestly solve this whole problem. So text to maybe that, because I want that text to fill up that gap. Maybe 5. There we go. Okay, that looks awesome. Okay, then I want this button, so flex row, and then justify center. Maybe not. At the moment I'm just gonna make it margin top that. Okay, I just want to see where it stops. Okay, that looks good. So at the moment let me try to, I want to make something that is in sync for both of them. Okay, so, and how I'm gonna do that is to add somewhere over here. So do I even, okay, some over here, I'm gonna add a margin on top and bottom of 4, and honestly over here I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, so that they are panned out in the same format. Now that we have all those situated, we're gonna take out our debuggers, and then one thing I'm gonna do in here, I'm trying to incorporate this gap in between here. So to do that, I'm just gonna make the words a little bit smaller. So text small, let's see how that, okay, sounds good. And then over here we shall do the margin top. Honestly, let me use this, and then column and justify content start, but items should be at the end. Okay, no, that's not, this should be center. Okay, this should be end, and then this should be center. Let me see how that, that should be start. Then I can add a margin top of 4 or 5. Yeah, 5 looks good. So yeah, we have all those situated, and maybe one thing that we're gonna pay attention to should be this gap in between. So if this gap is 1, that's not where actually we are. It should be over here, and the distance in between these two should honestly be something like gap 1. So okay, I see why. So if this is in that manner, then it looks like we are all good now. But I want to make sure that, so yeah, that looks like that's the problem. So if we take that out and see, yeah, that should resolve the issue. So getting back over here and make that maybe 2 of, yeah, this should solve our problem. Okay, so that looks awesome. If we take this out, you can see that that looks much better, but I don't like how close they are, so I'm gonna make it 3. Okay, and I would personally add a shadow, honestly, if this thing is not it doesn't require us to add a shadow, but I am going to add it. Okay, so, and I'm gonna put it somewhere around here. Okay, yeah, so now our target is to yeah, I added a few things in there, and yeah, now our target is to add this image, and that will be the end of this video. So to get an image, we'll go all the way to, actually, if I check on in here in this application, we could have assets that were given to us by our front-end mentor. So let's take a look at what we have. There we are. So I'm gonna get all these images. I'll add a link to this resource. Okay, so I'll drag all these images and move them all the way to the public. And so this image, just to make sure, this image is that works either way. So this image is for the desktop, so I will copy the relative path and then come over here. I want to make sure that these, because I know Astro really pulls the public directory, in a magical way. So I want to make sure if I go to index, I want to see, let's take a quick look. I want to see if I go to layout, I want to see how, so how the favicon was implemented. So yeah, it pulls it in a magical way. I think it looks for the public directory, but so sure. So let's we have our hero. So when we come over here, I'll paste the path, and then like we said, it knows the public, so we don't need to include that. Let's see if this is going to somehow magically work. There we go. So that's that looks very beautiful, to be honest. So what I'm gonna do, this is hero image, and if you can add object cover so that that thing is really panned out so well. And then let's see if we go to mobile. So the mobile also looks amazing. So this is honestly, we can also do something here. Okay, we can do something in a way. Let me show you something. So you can duplicate that and then add something like this. Let's say mobile, and what I'm gonna do is to get over here in index and in images, I'm gonna get I think there was a mobile. Yeah, this is the mobile. So I'll get the relative path, come back over here, and then paste the relative path over there. Then remember we said we don't need public, and then what we're gonna do here is that this is by default, it's gonna be hidden. Okay, yeah, by default it's gonna be hidden, and then but on large devices this is gonna be hidden, and then it will be block on small devices. And then we're gonna do the opposite on the other way, and so the desktop image is gonna be hidden on, and then on mobile, and then on large it will be block. There we go. That way we have only one image displaying at per moment. So if we, there we go, so we get the other image. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so yeah, so we were able to design this UI component over here, and now in the next video we shall design the aside, and then make sure we can also create some blogs that a user can drop in there, like custom blogs, and then I'll show you how you can map through all those blogs. It's gonna be actually an interesting part. You don't want to miss that. So if you are intrigued about how I'm going to create a JSON and get blogs and then map through those blogs and display them on the front end, be sure to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.